We are now recording. I should probably unhost
Yep.
half coordinated just so we
Yeah.
go live faster.
Yeah.
Alright, it
There we
looks
go.
like we're live already. There we go.
Excellent.
That's some free advertisement there for him.
Yeah.
He deserves it. He's a cool guy.
Yeah. He's a good guy. He's a good speedrunner.
Yeah, yeah. With a heart of gold and not trash
Yeah.
like a lot of other speedrunners. Uh,
Yeah.
so hey, what's up? It's
Hey.
another week of oh god, I was gonna go with like Shattuck's and Chops' old like salt podcast they
Oh,
do for like every GDQ, but I forgot what it was called. Shit.
there's. Oh God, what was that? I
Oh
forget. I don't know.
god.
I can't even think of it. What was that?
Jeez,
I don't
it's
know.
been so long.
Anyway, it's been like 8,000 years since they did that.
It's crazy that it's only been like three. Wait, I started speedrunning around 2013 ish, so it's been like 5 years. And it's
Mhm.
changed so drastically over that time, and the people I've like talked to and hung out with has changed so drastically. It's weird.
Yeah, me too. It's really strange to think about.
So many people come and go as the hobby has changed.
Yeah.
It's hard to meet new people in the hobby now.
hmm There's also just too many trash people in the hobby, so
Yeah,
that makes it even
it
harder.
got super mainstream, and then all the. It's like Homestuck. It got mainstream, and then all the trash moved in, and you get like people sitting in a goddamn Boston Pizza, spitting in a bucket, passing it around.
Oh,
That's a
well,
real thing. You can find video footage of it still.
is that a Homestuck thing or a
Yeah,
speedrunning thing?
that's a Homestuck thing. I wouldn't be surprised if
Okay.
there's a speedrun thing too. I could see
Yeah.
speedrunners doing shit like that. Let's be real here.
Yeah. Yeah. Probably.
Uh, which, speaking of speedrunners and Homestuck, two of the most anime things that have never been anime,
Oh
except
yeah.
for when you speedrun anime,
Yeah.
and when I'm pretty sure Homestuck referenced anime a few times, so
Probably.
it's relevant.
Yeah. I think everything references anime at one point or another.
God, I'm legitimately curious if there's any like Japanese directors or like if there's ever any project to like fan translate Homestuck into like another language. Ooh, I'm dropping frames.
Mm.
Ooh, I'm dropping a lot of frames.
Oh no.
Oh no. Okay, okay, looks like we're back. Looks like we're back. But I'm really curious
Yeah.
if anyone like ever tried to fan translate it like the way we like fan
hmm
translate Japanese works, if like anyone did that in Japan,
Yeah.
and if it has like a following or popular like if it's popular there, could you imagine if it was and some director was like trying to make it a fucking Homestuck anime? Who do you think would be the best at it?
Oh gosh, I have no idea. Just I don't know. Give it a trigger. See what they do with it.
Trigger featuring Hideaki Anno. There we go.
Yeah.
Just
There we go.
fucking
Perfect.
oh, which speaking of Hideaki Anno,
Oh. Speaking of, yeah.
I had to work so hard to connect those two and fucking get us off that goddamn topic.
Yeah. Yeah.
uh,
It's the big news that came out. Was it yesterday? Last night, I think.
I believe so, yes.
Yeah. So Netflix is getting Evangelion, beginning the series and the movies. He's doing it
Well,
in spring.
not the
Yeah,
remake movies, like the
yeah,
original
the original
movies.
movies. Yeah.
Yeah, so
Oh,
I'm curious if
I
they'll
wonder
get the remake movies
remakes.
as well eventually.
Maybe they're waiting for the final one to come out and then they'll get all of them at once. I wonder. That's still weird. The first remake movie was in '07 and the fourth one is still not done yet.
hmm
Oh, it's taking a long time.
It's crazy though to think that like it hasn't been legal.
hmm
Well, it says like they've remained out of print in North America since ADV shut down in 2009, but
hmm
their last release before they shut down in 2009 was in 2005. They were out of print before 2009. Like,
Yeah.
it's the only legal way to watch this in the West for the past over a decade has been by paying like $600 for like one DVD with 4 episodes. Basically, like it's
hmm
it's been you need to be rich.
Yeah.
or have bought it like beforehand, gotten lucky.
Mm-hmm.
Though we did have the manga. We did have the manga. You could read that legally, but yeah, it was like impossible to. So many people would talk about, oh, I want to get into this, but I literally can't. I don't want to pirate it. And that
Yeah.
was a big push for why piracy was so big, is because you have licensing things like this. So it's
Mm-hmm.
nice to see some of those old series that people have desperately wanted for so long finally getting like some sort of saving. So thank you, Netflix, for that. Now
Yeah.
the real question though is, when it comes out in spring 2019, it's gonna come out episode by episode for Canada, and then once it's done coming out in Canada and Europe episode by episode, then will it come out in the US all at once, a season later?
That would be bizarre.
That
But I
would be
could
the
see him doing
most
it.
Netflix thing ever, though. Like,
Yeah.
I
It
would
would be.
not be surprised.
Yeah. It would. I'm sure they'll find some way to make this real weird.
Oh god, the subs are gonna be awful, aren't they?
I don't
Well, I
know.
mean, their
I
subs
wonder.
are usually awful. They're always fucking trash. But
Mm.
if they're using like original hard subs, let's see in the trailer. It might be
Mm.
the dubbed version, actually.
I don't think the trailer has anything about subs in it. Also, it's weird. The trailer. They cut a new trailer for Evangelion and they didn't use Cruel Angel's thesis, which is like, come on, what are you doing?
Licensing rights. Oh god, what if it's not in there at all? Wait,
Just like, why even bother?
it's like taking out like the branding in Tiger and Bunny.
Yeah, like, what are you doing? How could you have Evangelion and not have the song? Come on. Yeah, yeah, I can't wait to watch this in 6 to 10 months.
Yep.
Whatever.
We're probably gonna use it for one of our book club shows because neither of us have actually ever watched it.
Yeah. So that'll be an interesting experience.
What the fuck is this column thing on the side? This week in anime. What the hell is happening in My Sister, My Writer?
Oh yeah, that shows a train wreck.
Apparently, we have a new biggest train wreck of the year. Is it gonna be worse than Martian Mädchen?
I don't know. I should imagine it was pretty bad.
I know, but this has the added atrocity of being like the Onichan like Emoto shit.
Yeah.
Disclaimer: the views and opinions of the channel are not views of Anime News Network. Spoiler warnings for discretion ahead. Not safe for work. Warning for content and language. Oh God. God, look at the faces. Look really. Oh my God. It's just all off model faces from the get-go.
Yeah.
What the fuck? Oh god, there's some not safe for work stuff. What the hell?
Mm.
Jesus. I can't even see if this is making fun of stuff, cause like some of the lines they use here are just what the fuck is it?
These screenshots are less of a train wreck than I was thinking they would be. Like the lines are bad, but the art itself is like, it's a little below average, but it's not the worst.
I don't know. The eyes in some of these are just like so off model. They don't know how to draw faces. That's the biggest issue.
Yeah.
But the content looks like it. Jeez. Look.
Yeah. This is real bad.
I can't believe there are so many lewd drawings. Eyes completely apart. Jeez. Okay, yeah, it's no
Martian Mansion.
It might be worse than Martian Mansion because that at least had some good episodes at the beginning.
Yeah.
This is I don't know. At least Martian Mansion was interesting. I'm like 5 episodes in and it hasn't become a train wreck yet. There's only been a tiny bit of awkward animation, so one day I'll face that. That was not something I was expecting to see. That's a show no one needs to watch ever.
Yeah.
When you're trying to just get money off all the incest lovers, just pandering, and obviously don't care or don't want to put in a budget. The sad thing is, those fans will watch it anyways.
Yeah.
If you want to watch something if you want to watch something that actually sort of does lampoon the Emoto genre, a sister is all you need.
Really?
That the title actually works pretty well for that. Yeah, so I actually watched it a while ago. I think it's pretty
Mm-hmm.
fine. It's a bunch of terrible fucking people and assholes. Not really. The main guy. So the main guy is obsessed with little sister stories and is a light novel writer who writes them. He doesn't
Yeah.
actually have one though. And there'll be stuff where he's trying to pitch like ideas to his editor and it's like this over the top creepy thing with his sister and his editor will just tear him a new one about how fucking like messed up it is. I'm dropping
Mm-hmm.
frames again.
Oh. Well, the YouTube VOD will be okay, at least.
Maybe?
Yeah, the frame drops are only for the connection to Twitch. It doesn't affect local
I guess
recordings.
that's true.
Yeah, so...
Yikes, we're just disconnected at this point.
Oh, no.
Like, it's bad. Anyways, so YouTube,
Hello, YouTube. It's just us now.
it's just us,
Hmm.
and whenever I upload this, maybe a couple months late, I actually think we're up to date on YouTube right now.
I'm pretty sure we are.
I'm actually still worried because I've never seen my internet streaming this bad. Not since I was on my old laptop like 2013.
Yeah.
This is yikes bad. What the fuck?
It's...
How am I even still in a Discord call right now? It's that bad.
Huh. Might just be your connection to Twitch specifically.
Maybe Twitch is probably doing dumb stuff. Anyways, assistance all you need, as I was saying before I got distracted there. So yeah, like they'll lampoon him. There's like another light novel artist who's his friend who writes
Hmm?
Whoop. So yeah.
Yeah,
we're not taking people coming in and advertising illegal sites randomly.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Anyway.
so his other light novel friend is he like writes super generic stuff, and the twist is he hates his sister. He thinks she hates him, but she's actually like the sister who probably would like him, but he's not that creep at all and doesn't give a shit about that at all. So it like doesn't work out.
Yeah.
The girl who does like the main guy is like the thirstiest fucking girl in the universe. She's like, I want to get naked and have your babies. Like every moment she gets, and he's just like, you're not my little sister, so it's no good. And it's just like the dumbest thing. They actually do like mock a lot of it, and it was just dumb fun. As far as perverted things go, I definitely think it's like on the higher end of the sort of pervert comedy. Like they'll have like a tax collector come, and she's like, well, we can write this stuff off as like write this stuff off for you as research material for your jobs. You can like get credit back on all of these like regular taco hobby stuff you've bought, as long as it's related to like the fact that you write little sister stories. So then she forces him to name out one by one everything he has, and it slowly gets worse and worse, and he just gets like destroyed. Like she just sits there like making him have to read out these terrible names to her one after another, just completely humiliating the guy.
Yeah, that sounds alright.
Apparently she just goes around doing that to like all of the light novel authors because she knows they all have that stuff and she hates it. Yeah,
Nice.
it's pretty fun, and it hints at a really like dark tragic backstory with like really deep emotional reasoning behind characters' actions, though it doesn't quite get into the anime. So I'm actually probably gonna buy the light novels and read them because they're out in English, because it actually did legitimately make me curious. It had good storytelling, which is amazing for a fucking Moto series.
Yeah. Huh. That's cool.
Yeah, it was actually a decent series. I gave it a 6. Which I'm saying it was actually pretty good, and I was gonna read the books. I gave it a 6. I gave her a 6 instead of like a 7 because it didn't actually like pay off any of the backstory stuff it kept hinting at.
Oh, yeah. It sure sounds alright. Speaking of shows that are alright, have you been watching any alright shows lately?
I've been watching She-Ra. I'm
Nice.
about halfway through that. It's a lot of fun. I enjoy it. I don't think I actually watched anything else this week. Uh,
Nice.
I didn't. I'm behind on Bloom to You, behind on Miss Vampire. It's been a really busy, shitty week. Usually I
Yeah.
watch stuff on the weekend, but the weekend's just been a mess of going out Christmas shopping, then dealing with vets, and then cat
Mm,
issues. I have not
yeah.
really had a moment to stop, except for yesterday, which is why we didn't do the podcast yesterday. It's the first moment I had to, like, breathe and go, okay,
Hmm.
I just want to relax. So I started
Yeah.
reading a true crime novel on Charles Manson. Like, what the fuck?
Nice.
I do this to myself.
Good job. Yeah.
Creepy Crawly by Jeffrey Melnick. The next hot
Oh.
anime. God, could you imagine?
Hmm.
Actually, do you think there is a Charles Manson anime? He's
I
gotta
bet
be
he's
in
made like a
some anime,
cameo.
right? He's gotta be
Yeah.
in some anime.
Charles Manson anime. Just type that into Google, see what happens.
The police
Uh,
comes is what. God.
Charles Manson Dance Dance Revolution meme. That was the first result. So I'm gonna say probably no actual anime.
All right, we found something. We found an untapped reservoir.
Yeah.
Come on, Japan. Homestuck and Charles Manson, get to it. Oh, but yeah, I did read a bit.
Oh yeah.
I haven't actually updated, but I read a few more uh, chapters of Sekai de Ichiban Oppai Gasuki, which is the
Mhm.
trash, really perverted, just girl who's obsessed with breasts, so she talks another girl into letting her grope her. In the
Oh yeah.
latest chapters, the other girl gets to grope her back, and she realizes how embarrassing it is and gets super flustered, and it's super gay.
Oh
This is a really bad manga. Don't read it.
yeah. It
It's a
sounds bad.
little too not safe for work for the fact that they're high schoolers.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I mean, with that premise, having high schoolers that
Japan
is a
thing.
little weird.
All I know is they aren't like they have kohai like they're senpai, so I'm just
Hmm.
assuming they're like final years, 18 years old.
Yeah.
If it doesn't say and doesn't specify,
Yeah. Oof.
that's the
Well,
number one issue with fucking anime right there. You never know. It's like, please stop
yeah.
this. Please make it clear they are of age.
Hmm.
And then besides that, I haven't again read too much besides Charles
Hmm.
Manson. I did read a bunch of graphic novels though.
Oh.
So I literally I'm super pissed at my postal service. So my Teen Titans books I ordered because I wanted to read the new Teen Titans. Uh,
Hmm.
it's through chapters. It's supposed to come to my door. Even chapters invoice said to come to my or not to my door but my mailbox.
Hmm.
In my mailbox shows up a thing saying you have to pick this package up, and I assume it's some Weiss Schwartz stuff I ordered from Japan. So I'm like, yeah, makes sense. Probably have to pay some like some import fees or whatever, so I have to sign for it. No,
Yeah.
no, it's my books that have never once not just been in my mailbox. There's
Huh.
absolutely no reason for me to have to pick them up, but because I did, I had to go out of my way after work today, walk half an hour through like -20 weather to this one shitty place where no buses go to be able to pick them up. My brother luckily gave me a ride back because it's like close to our house, but it's still like an hour walk to our house. Either I walk an hour to my house, or I walk half an hour back to the nearest bus station, wait 20 minutes for a bus, and then bus home, and then
Hmm.
probably have to walk another fucking 10 minutes because most of the buses only go like a block from my home. So it's like,
Oh.
yeah, fuck that. There was no reason for it to do that. I'm pissed at my postal service right now. I am one of the staunchest defenders of them. My dad was a postie. He was like he was a shop steward in the union. Everyone hates on them every time they strike. And I was like, no, it's workers' rights. It's good. It's good. Then they make me do this. I'm like,
Yeah.
you get mandated back to
It's like-
work, you assholes. Fucking it's like number one way to turn people against you is to just like not follow procedure. Like they had to go to our mailbox anyways to leave the fucking notice to say to pick it up from this other store. They were already there. They could have just brought the books. What the
Yeah.
fuck?
Well,
But yeah, so I read the first one just before we started. And well, I read the first one, then I read some more Charles Manson. But it's good. I like it. I really like the new designs of all the people, all the characters. They're super neat. The Raven redesign is fantastic. She looks super badass. Kid Flash looks cool. Beast Boy looks cool. Starfire looks badass. Damien is not quite as good a character as Tim Drake. I gotta say that. He's kind of a little shit. Kind of a big little shit. But we'll see how he evolves as a character. That's the neat thing. I'm at a starting point. I get to see where this all goes. And I can't wait for me to get to parts where it's like, this storyline is continuing this other comic. I'm like, fuck, I don't want to read that other comic. I don't want to buy the other comic. But I guess I have to know what happens to these characters. Because comics are dumb.
yeah.
Just keep your stories in the one thing. Why'd you have to cross over between Teen Titans, Sons of Gods, or fucking whatever it's called? Just stick to one. Do the manga thing. You want a spin-off, you keep, like, Kana-chan's daily life. There we go. Just give me Damien's bullshit life, like, in the background. The Sons of Gods thing. It doesn't need to start in Teen Titans and transition over.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I follow a couple comics people on Twitter, and they were talking about all the ridiculous stuff that happens in comics because of just trying to sell more stuff, and it sounds terrible.
Yeah.
That whole industry sounds like a train wreck at times.
Well,
Oof.
it doesn't seem as bad when you're like not in the multiverse stuff. Like the other one I read was Rocket Girl, which is a 2-volume thing. I picked up the first one years ago in like 2014, 2013, whenever it came out. And the second one came out last year. I bought it and I hadn't actually read it yet. So I reread the first one and read the second one, so I knew what was happening because it had been so long. And it was really, really good. It was super good. It's like super diverse characters, super interesting characters. But they built up this super interesting world, had all these super interesting characters, and then it just ends abruptly in one of the shittiest ways ever. Because this time shenanigans could leave it in one of the worst fucking endings ever, or one of the most endings ever, depending on how you interpret it. But either way, it's just, there was no payoff. There's absolutely no payoff. And I'm so upset because it could have been so good. It could have been so good.
Oh, dang.
That's okay. I still have it. It's still in my collection. But yeah, like, Descender's really good. I've only read the first 2 volumes of that, but it's sci-fi. That one's really good. There's some really good graphic novels. And, you know, we don't get enough, I think, cartoons of, like, adult series anymore. Like, we did for a while. We got a bunch of that stuff, right? Like, we did get the original Teen Titans. We did get, like, Justice League stuff and cartoons and that. We don't really seem to get a lot of cartoons based on, like, comic books anymore.
Yeah. Well, that's because they're all doing movies now.
Yeah. Or it's all original stuff. But I mean, like, even, like, stuff like Paper Girls or Low or, like, Descender, they would all make such good shows. I'm amazed no one's really pitching this kind of stuff. And I think that's one of the reasons I like manga so much, right?
Yeah.
Comics is like the one place in Western media where we really express ourselves in absolutely anywhere we want outside of music universally. You can do that. And some art, but like it's able to do so much with that medium. No other medium in the West does that. And manga is similar, right?
Yeah.
But where manga has anime that has everything from for kids to adults and all kinds of action stuff in between, we kind of our alternative is cartoons, and it's not the same. We have stuff for kids, And then we have stuff for
Mhm.
adults, but not a lot of it's super action packed. Not a lot of it pushes the boundaries. Most of the adult stuff is comedies with
Mhm.
low animation budgets because it makes money. A lot of the kids'
Yeah.
stuff is weird psychedelic fight jokes. Like
Mhm. Yeah.
there's not that in between area of
Mhm.
stylism. Though we are getting more stuff like that with like She-Ra and Voltron and the
Mhm.
like Avatar series, and it is making sort of a surgence in the West, and I really hope to see more. I would love if Netflix went and just picked up some like top graphic novels.
Mhm.
I mean, I guess
That'd be
The
good.
Walking Dead's based off a graphic novel. I forget about that
Yeah.
one. That's like the
Oh
most
yeah.
famous one. It's done so well. So why are there so few others? I don't get it.
I don't know.
I don't know. Like, there's such a wide variety of stuff that could be super cool. Like, I think maybe one of the reasons is graphic novels are very diverse,
Mhm.
especially modern stuff I've read. There's lots of LGBT representation, people of color. They deal with a lot of political and like social situations that are very pressing in real life. Like, they're very
Mhm.
topical, lots of
Yeah.
them. And I think that might be one of the reasons people don't want to like get involved in that.
Yeah. Probably safer for them to not try and try and stay away from that stuff rather than address it, which
Hmm.
is unfortunate. They should just do it. Come on, you know.
I
Yeah.
I I hope more like graphic novel authors, maybe not like DCU or Marvel because they probably can't based on contracts. But if like Paper Girls or Monstrous or Descender, like those authors went to like Netflix and were like, you could make a show of this.
Mhm.
I think if those types of shows started to sell to Netflix, they'd do very well, and more would
Mhm.
sell.
Probably. Hopefully. Well, we'll have to see if that ever happens.
Hmm.
Hopefully it will. I feel like it's like part of the problem, at least for animated shows, is that in the West, animation was just so like entwined with like being kid stuff, and it
Hmm.
was only in the past like 15, 20 years there've been more like adult stuff,
Hmm.
and it's all been comedy basically, right? But it's hopefully we'll slowly start branching out more. So it might take a while, but I bet we'll get there eventually.
Yeah, I think that's one of the really big positive things of anime becoming more like popular and positive
Hmm.
in the West because before they used to do that like don't draw like anime in art schools and stuff, and now it's more
Oh yeah,
embraced as a style. Like you have shows like
yeah.
Steven Universe throwing anime references everywhere. Like it has such a big influence on Western creators. Just it just needs to get to the high ups, the producers, the funders, kind of. And it is with Netflix. Like we have
Hmm.
Voltron, we have Castlevania. We are getting this stuff now, and it's really really cool. And I think we're in for like a really interesting time where before everyone used
Hmm.
to talk about anime was like um, inspired by like the cartoons the U.S. brought over, right?
Yeah.
Now it's gone the complete other way. Cartoons have stagnated so long in the West that Japan has innovated past us and now is starting to push us and inspire us again to like go back to the medium. And I think that's super cool because we're starting to see some really cool stuff and really cool mixings of styles. Like we have like the LaShawn Thomas stuff, like
Hmm.
Children of Ether, and the new one he's working on with Netflix with the Oda Nobunaga's retainer, the Black Samurai and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And like one of the interesting things the West will tell that Japan won't, and I don't mean this as Japan is awful and racist, but it is a xenophobic country.
Yeah.
Most of the authors and creators don't understand or have as deep a knowledge or breadth of other cultures and other people and their struggles. So when you start having like Western like black creators, like I believe LaShawn Thomas is black,
Hmm.
and people like that, we start to get these more varied kind of experiences coming into it, and you start getting a bigger cultural mix of types of stories being told, which I think will be super interesting in the years to come. Because I do think at some point with stuff like Netflix, who's contracting both anime and Western authors, they're just gonna start working together. Like maybe in
Yeah.
like 20 years, but it's just gonna be normal, and it's going to be
Yeah.
super cool. I think.
Yeah. Hopefully. Yeah.
So what about you? Have you been watching anything? You got anything to rant about this week?
Oh, I don't really think I have any rants, but I have some stuff. I was gone most of the week for the holidays, but I did get back and watch some stuff and catching up on things. First off, there was Zombieland Saga, which is a big deal this week.
I heard
Yeah, it's
canonical
actual
trans character.
yeah,
Sorry, I took
exactly.
that hype
Yeah,
on you.
it's okay, but yeah, it was pretty good. Like they don't get it 100%. Like it's still a little rough around the edges, but like the fact that they're doing the representation at all is so good. And also, it's been really nice to see both like the Zombieland Saga Twitter and the Crunchyroll Twitter posting about it and being like blatantly supportive of it. It's been really good. And also, it's surfaced a lot of people on Twitter for me to block, so that I never have to see their awful opinions ever again.
Yep.
So that was convenient.
Every time it'll happen.
Yep. Yep.
God, but it is great to see more representation.
Yeah.
As
It
I was just
is.
talking about, we're starting to see more varied representation in
Mhm.
anime and in the West moving over. Though trans, of course, identities not just coming from the West. They're probably very
Mhm.
deeply rooted there themselves in their own culture. But
Yeah.
it's just nice to see kind of on all sides representation, and people are doing better.
Yeah.
The fans are not, though. Jesus Christ, they never
Yeah.
learn.
Oh. Yeah. That was. But yeah, it was a good episode. It was really fun too, because it was about Lily, who is the small girl, and her dad, who is like 10 feet tall and built like a truck. And that is, for some reason, that
It,
like trope of having the small girl with the gigantic dad is just it is the funniest thing to me, and I love it every time.
it is he
Fantastic.
is he the one who ran over the main girl then? Cause
No,
truck,
no, that was
get it? Yeah.
nice. No, that was the manager who did that. It
Wait,
was.
that was
It,
actually the manager.
oh,
I haven't watched it.
I don't know if it was. I don't know if it was for the main girl at like the first episode, but in one of the later episodes, he runs over one of the other girls and then yells at her. It's a very silly bit.
All right, that manager.
'Cause- yeah, because he
Every,
hit her with their van and then said, You shouldn't let that stop you. If you really want to be an idol, get up. Come on." It
every
was-
every scene
oh,
I've seen with him is gold.
oh, he's fantastic.
Uh, Mamoru Miyano is like giving the performance of a lifetime.
Oh yeah.
He's going to win an award from that show. I swear to God.
Oh, I hope so. He deserves it. But yeah. Other than that, I also watched Skullface Bookseller Honda-san, which is it's just a good show. I really like it. I don't know. I don't have a lot to say about it this week. It's just good. We had a lot of stuff about working retail, and like I've never had a retail job, but I'm like, wow, this is good timing with it coming out around the holidays now. I'm saying like comparing working retail to like walking through a desert. It's just awful.
Mel doesn't want to load pages anymore. And as I
Oh,
said,
of
it loads
course.
it. But alright.
Yeah. Yeah, that show is good. Then just since Mal just loaded the page, I'm gonna now move on to the next one,
Alright.
which is Bloom Into You, which
I
is it's
one
just so good.
episode
and
behind now.
Oh, it's a good
Wait, am I one or
episode.
two? I'm two. Wait. It's
What?
Are we at episode 8? Or 7?
Maybe. Episode 8.
Oh, I'm 2 episodes behind. Oh no, wait,
Oh,
what? Oh
oh
no.
no.
It's okay, I'm caught up on the manga. I know what happens. Go ahead.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Just man, I tweeted about this earlier a couple days ago, but I was like, man, what if Yuri got to be the popular genre instead of Isekai? We could just have like 1,000 mediocre Yuri shows.
Oh
It'd be fantastic.
shit! I forgot. I forgot to talk about Isekai. I've been
Oh,
reading Isekai. I've been reading like the oldest Isekai I could fucking find. I found it by pure accident. It's
mhm.
a Connecticut Yankee in Arthur's court.
Yeah.
The name screams Isekai.
Oh yeah, totally.
The whole book reads like a generic Isekai too. Like it's clear Isekai was born from this. The
It's
kicker,
very good. Yeah.
written in 1889 by Mark Twain.
Yeah.
Mark fucking Twain.
Mark Twain is the father of Isekai.
What evil has he done? No wonder no one talks about it. They don't. They're too ashamed. They don't want to admit it. Actually, the reason they don't talk about it is because there's multiple chapters that are just rants about the church and how evil it is. So there's a
Wow.
reason in 1889 it didn't get popular.
Yeah.
Yikes.
Yeah. So, yeah. One of the other shows I actually had to catch up on this one was The Girl in Twilight. And that show it's been okay. It's like kind of picking back up. It had a couple episodes that were kind of middling because it was doing this thing where they're like not directly fan service, but it's like, oh, this episode just happens to take place on a beach or on these tropical islands, so they're all in bikinis or whatever. But there's like actual plot stuff going on too. It's like, oh, just coincidentally, also a lot of fan service, and so that kind of made the show like drag a little. But yeah, it's picking back up. That's pretty good. I feel like when I started watching that show and I had like the 5 episodes to binge through, or like 5 or 6, I like was really excited about the show because it was just so surprising. And now that it's kind of worn off, I'm like, okay, this show is not as good as I thought it was, or my initial reaction led me to think it was, but it's still good. It's a fun show. I like it. Although I will say some of the their like alternate form character designs, like their transformations, they look really lame.
Wait, their transformations?
Yeah, it's weird. The show was weird.
I thought they were
But yeah.
vampires or something.
No, they're just time travelers. That's all.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, yeah, and then a show I just caught up on today was Golden Kamuy, which is extremely good.
I'm so far behind.
Uh, you should catch up. This episode was actually really good. It had this one section of it where some of the women characters were off having a very serious discussion about main plot stuff, and like it was like a really dramatic scene, and then it kept cutting between that and another scene with all the dudes who apparently sea otter, when you cook it, releases an aphrodisiac into the air. So all of these dudes started getting really horny.
Oh god.
And so they're like, we should take off all our clothes and sumo wrestle.
God. I'm
It
here
was
for
really
this
silly.
equal opportunity fan service.
Yeah, that was my exact thought. It was a very silly scene.
I fucking saw a gif the other day of, or I think it was earlier today, of, hunting sunfish or whatever.
Oh yeah.
I fucking hate those things.
Oh yeah.
There was like this iconic Tumblr post about them years ago and how dumb they are and stupid. And it was like I was reading that post all over again, watching that gif. That just the stupid thing. It's like we just cut it open and take its innards out, and you just see the eye move to look at
Yeah.
her. Like,
Oh,
wait,
it was so
it's
good.
like just go back under the water, stop floating. Like you stupid fish.
Yeah.
She's
Oh.
literally cutting into you while standing on you.
Yeah. That was good. Also, I'm learning so much about Japan. Like, I didn't know that there was like a Polish population in Japan, like ever. It was really weird. It was like, oh yeah, it was a time when like the Polish Tsar just like exiled people, and so they went to Japan for some reason.
There's
So
a
like yeah, so like one of the characters is like, oh yeah, this father is Polish, and that's why they're really kind of an outcast, is because they're mixed race. So yeah, it's a weird thing.
Yeah, there's a lot of like weird sort of communities in Japan from various reasons like that. Like there's this actual big like Korean uh community there that was there from before the Korean War, so they're like in this awkward place where it's like they aren't South Korean, but they're not North Korean. But they
Yeah.
support North Korea because North Korea was sending them money
Oh,
and
yeah.
South Korea wasn't. And it's just really weird and fascinating how there's these communities in Japan which is super xenophobic, and like it doesn't help that Japan's like, so North Korea is firing missiles over Japan now, so you like, uh
Yeah.
it's just it's really neat how
Hmm.
different communities and how immigration affects different countries.
Hmm. It is.
Seeing it portrayed in something that's been relatively historical and pointing out, like, yeah, this existed, because you can be sure there's probably a lot of racist Japanese people who wouldn't want to believe that. Same with, like, America. There's a lot of racist Americans who don't want to believe Texas was ever
Hmm.
part of Mexico. Like,
Yeah.
how come there's Mexicans here? It's like, well, you invaded their land.
Well, yeah.
They
Jeez.
they just kind of were here, and then you moved your border onto the other side of them. That's how it works.
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, yeah. But yeah, that show's been very good. You should catch up on Golden Kamuy. It's
I
so
need to.
good.
I very much
Oh,
need to. The characters are so
yeah.
good in that show.
Oh, they're extremely good.
What I have caught up on, you remember that Twitter at first that had like the oh god, what's his name? The like gender bend
Mm.
Sugimoto?
Oh, yeah, that one.
It's just devolved into pure porn of it.
Wow.
Like before it was like just kind of lewd.
Mhm.
Now it's just like straight up porn comics of the other dudes like railing. It's like, oh my
Wow.
god. It
I'm,
shows up
I'm,
on my timeline every once in a while, like, oh, this is a little farther than I wanted.
yeah. Well, this is a bit much. Oh, no.
If you're gonna draw this stuff, at least make it gay then. I think they do gay stuff too with him.
Hmm.
Not just gender bend, but
Yeah. So, yeah, and then the last show I caught up on was Surune. Gotta give him my good archery. And man, that show is so chill and just relaxing. It's just really nice because like it's a sports show and it's competitive, but it's also very laid back. Even when they're like when they were doing the like mock tournament in one of the last couple episodes, they were like it's still so relaxing because it is such a like low key sport.
hmm.
And it's nice. It's very comfy.
So
It's like
this is your sports anime overrun with the wind.
yeah. Run with the Wind is nice, but it's a different thing.
Hmm.
Yeah, actually, I'm caught up on Run with the Wind. I'm 2 or 3 episodes behind now. Yeah, I mostly like Run with the Wind because I run, so it's like, oh, I
Oh, I
actually
didn't
know
know
things
that.
about the sport. Yeah, I've never like run competitively. I did until I hurt my knees, but then I had to stop. So I just run casually now. But it's
Huh.
just like I enjoy running, so it's nice to have a show about a thing I actually do.
Hmm. Have you ever watched Prince of Stride?
I have not. Maybe I
Similar
should do that sometime.
similar
Yeah,
concept, but more parkour.
interesting.
But it's still one of those like it's kind of like a relay race that's running
Hmm.
and parkour.
Interesting.
It's very okay.
Hmm.
It's
I might
very
have to.
okay. It's
Maybe
very
I'll check that out
popular for this
sometime.
season because of Hot Boys, but
Yeah, it's understandable.
yeah.
So yeah. Then I did do a little bit of reading because the new volume of Land of the Lustrous came out. So I'd finished rereading the first 6 volumes and then read the 7th one. And it's extremely good. And I can't wait for the next one to come out because I don't like to read the chapters online as they come out and get fan translated. I always wait for the books.
Yeah, you'd be really
So
far ahead too. Like,
yeah. So yeah, I have to wait till April for the next one to come out. Oh, but this latest volume was really good. I love Land of the Lustrous so much.
I'm really
I think I'm
curious.
gonna yeah, I think I'm
Really
gonna rewatch
curious
the
if
show
it hit.
soon.
I'm really
If it
curious if
hit.
it hit the spoiler that
Mm,
I know.
maybe.
Was
I
there
don't know.
any really big things in this?
I mean, yeah, there's some big stuff. A very major thing happens at the end of it. That's why I really want the next book already.
I want to know if it's the big thing I'm thinking of.
I don't know. Oh, I don't know. Is there a way you can hint at it to where I would know?
Was there any interesting travel?
Yes. At the very end, that's what happens at the
All
end.
right.
Is
So
someone goes on a trip.
that's not the spoiler I know. The
Oh,
spoiler
okay.
I know comes from that though.
Mm.
You, oh boy, next volume's gonna
All
be a
right.
thing. Although it might not be till the volume after too. Like
Yeah.
it's probably gonna be at the very end of next volume, I think.
Yeah. All right. Can't wait till April.
Oh boy.
Ugh.
God,
Yeah.
I was spoiled farther ahead than I thought. I thought I was spoiled into like volume 6 or something. Volume 6 or something.
So yeah, and then it's kind of anime adjacent, but I read Bloody Rose, which I've said a little bit about. The book is incredibly good. Oh, I'm
I
so
told
happy you
you.
recommended it.
I told you.
It's really good.
I've gotten like 5 people to buy it. You're the first one to finish it.
Yeah, I finished it in like 3 days because I was in a car for so long.
Oh yeah, traveling.
Yeah, so it was a 7-hour car ride, 7 hours back.
I knew you finished it because
Yeah.
almost like immediately the same day, I think, I get a
Mhm.
little kudos on my fanfic.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Yeah.
you finished it already. Neat.
Yeah. Now I need all the Tamkura content I can get. Unfortunately, there is none.
There is one. There is
Yeah.
exactly one content
Yeah.
outside of the canon. I just got
Yeah.
my copy of Kings of the Wild, so I'm gonna finally read that.
Ooh, nice.
Once I'm done my
I'm-
like 7 other books.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm curious
mind
about
you.
that book. Yeah. Because I feel like I heard at some point that it is like a more like generic or like kind of traditional fantasy thing.
Yeah. So from the way it's being described to me, is it's more like an old guys go on a road trip to kind of like have one last hurrah, redeem themselves. It's more on the
Mhm.
comedy side. It's less serious. It's more just guys on an adventure, which does fit the more stereotypical older
Yeah.
fantasy issues where there isn't lots of representation. And Nicholas Eames, the author, has like admitted himself and said like he wanted to work on it with the next volume. The first one was supposed to be like this guy's road trip, so it's kind of hard to fit
Yeah.
others in. I do know like Slowhand Gabe, I believe is black, I believe.
Hmm.
So like there is some representation still, but it's still like super male dominant in characters.
Yeah.
Which he wanted to work on, and he clearly did with Bloody Rose. I'm very curious. I think I know what the third volume is about because there's one character that I know is in the first because, well, I saw someone mention there in the first, but also the way they act with Gabe in the second. They only show up for like one scene in the second, but it's that super famous mercenary. I forget her name, and her son. And she says something like, I can't risk him, he's going to save the world. And so they sneak off and leave while that other army gets destroyed. Like, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Oh yeah,
yeah,
the
yeah.
bird lady
I think
mercenary.
the third one's
Right.
going to be following them.
Oh, that'd be cool.
Or her
She
son.
seemed cool.
Yeah.
For all 2 seconds she was in that book, she seemed cool.
Apparently, she shows up in the first book both as an antagonist and a protagonist, like kind of different sides,
Oh.
because they're mercenaries, right? You're on the
Yeah.
same,
Right.
or you're on different kind of
Yeah.
whoever hires you. So
That's cool.
yeah.
So, yeah, I'm probably gonna pick that book up soon and read it. Even though I have like 4 other things that I want to get through soon.
I can't wait. I can't wait for the third volume, which sadly is going to be the last in the series,
Mm.
even though they're only loosely based. I absolutely can't wait. And then for whatever else Nicholas Eames writes from there, he's my favorite author now when it comes to like
Yeah.
Western stuff.
Yeah, he seems really good. Like whatever he does after this collection of books, I'll definitely keep up with him.
It's only
'cause
his
he's
second
really good.
book. Bloody
Yeah.
Rose is only his second book.
Oh, it's so good.
He's
It's
so
probably one of my favorite books I've ever read. Probably. It's
so
up there.
So when I was writing that fanfic, I posted on his Goodreads thing you can ask questions to authors. I asked if any of the characters outside of Tam had canonical last names, and like after I written it and finished it, like a couple days ago, it's like, oh, he answered your question. Like it's like, no, none of them have canonical last names except for Tam. I'm like, cool,
Wow.
I don't have to worry about that then.
I didn't notice that. You're right. None of them have last names.
Yeah.
Oh.
None. Except for Tam Hashford.
Hmm.
And I guess her uncle.
Yeah.
Whose last name I forget, but they mentioned his, I think.
Yeah. I forget.
Drunken.
That's this.
But yeah,
This is the first time I've read a book and thought like, oh, maybe I'll reread that like now.
yeah. Oh,
Oh,
it's so
so
good.
good.
I'm actually planning another fic for it. So you'll
Nice.
get more content soon with a
Nice.
bonus.
Excellent. Yeah, I had the urge to write a fic for it and thought like, oh, I don't have any good ideas. I only have terrible ones. I shouldn't write anything.
I have a good one, but I need to finish my Teen Titans stuff first. And we have
Yeah.
gone very far off anime, but that's okay.
Anyway,
This is kind of just a podcast for us to,
to talk about whatever. Yeah.
yeah, whatever stuff. It's kind of awkward that we made it anime only, because I do want to talk about other stuff. Like, a
Yeah.
lot.
Yeah. We could we could start a second podcast or just turn this into a multi-purpose one.
Yeah. It'd be hard to start a second, to have the
Yeah.
time, and then we just end up talking about anime in the second one, too.
Yeah.
Maybe next season we'll start opening up to more Western
Hmm.
stuff too. Talk more
Yeah.
about
Just
books, or maybe for one of our anime book clubs we'll do actual books. Some
yeah. Could do
Western
that.
books maybe.
Yeah.
We
Yeah.
got we got so there's just so much content out there and so much cool fun stuff, both anime and not, that
Hmm.
it's so hard to keep a podcast just for our niche interests, because it's like
Hmm.
our niche interests aren't just the things that are what keep us together as friends. We have
Yeah.
similar taste in a lot of stuff, so it's super fun to be able to
Hmm.
talk about other stuff too. And
Yeah.
it's not like we have a huge following that would mind.
Yeah. I figure we do this podcast for us, really, so we could do whatever we want.
Yeah, just the name kind of gives certain ideas as to what it'll be about.
Yeah. Yeah. So yeah. Speaking of our podcast, if we want to get into the book club section of it.
Yeah, I guess we should move on to that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, we got episodes 8 of Chirusei Nobunaga.
Yeah. Let's start with Jose, because I have some thoughts.
I hate this show so much.
Oh, it's so bad.
I hate this show so much.
Like,
It's only 3 more episodes though. We're almost
Yeah.
done. Thank God it's
Almost
only
there.
11.
yeah. This episode was maybe the worst episode so far.
I think last episode was still something else, but this episode
Oh,
too,
yeah.
yes.
This episode was like trash.
Oh.
Oh, God.
So
It
is
was
Tiz
just-
dead? What the fuck happened to Tiz at the end? Did she just leave? Is she dead?
I don't think she's dead. think
She's
she's
just
just-
fucked. Like, the
Yeah.
weird thing is they've built up that it's gonna be like him and Tiz, like, because the
Mm-hmm.
ending has the two of them together, like, the entire time. It's building up,
Yeah.
and then it's like, I've known you for 2 days. I love you. You're beautiful. And the other
Yeah.
woman, though, or the woman's like, you're far more beautiful. All the girls love you. I'm jealous. It's like, she's gay as fuck. Why the fuck she dating you?
Yeah.
She want
Yeah.
just give me a Karen and Tiz. Fuck the rest of this shit.
Yeah. And everything, every scene with Kareem in this episode was just awful. Like all the love triangle stuff at the end was awful. Everything with her and Thor down in the hole in the ground was terrible. Like they made her just the most boring, tropey version of the like angry, irrational woman. It was
it's
garbage.
It's not even angry and irrational. It
Yeah.
literally doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
Her personality and her emotions change to fit whatever is necessary for Thor at any moment. Which
Yeah.
maybe might be what they're talking about, like the blessing of the goddess. You just
Mm-hmm.
manipulate people's emotions with your charisma. Everyone keeps saying he has charisma. It's like, he doesn't have a lick of charisma in his body. He like stumbled over saying, I don't want to fight the first. The
Mhm.
like first. You tricked me, third. What the
Yeah.
fuck? Like, he's just there's no charisma anywhere. But they're like, he's such a charismatic leader. It's like they didn't show it at all because they time skipped like 3 years, 4
Yeah.
years, 5 years.
It was really funny that they call him charismatic because in the English dub he is the most like dry, boring, monotone voice in the world. Oh my god, it's terrible. Ugh.
And then they
God,
like
this.
suddenly third apparently has some like high tech secret base in a cave somewhere.
Yeah, yeah. What was up with that?
Is that why they killed the other guy? Was he the one who had the cave?
I
Oh.
guess. I don't
Actually,
know.
the funniest thing to me is the fucking we've got to get out of this hole. Starts digging a hole deeper. It's like
Yeah,
there's water. We're saved. How deep down
yeah,
does it go? I can't see. And then suddenly they're pulling themselves after climbing down
yeah,
like 2 holes farther. They suddenly just pop out of the snow. No hole left
yeah.
behind. No nothing. It's just like standing on where they popped out. It's like we're free. We're on the surface. It's like what the?
Like what? What
You
happened?
went down and went up. Like
Yeah, they they dug through the planet and got to the other side. Oh God, that was awful. It's so
oh
stupid. It's like, yeah, but yeah, the stuff with Third in that tech room at the very start is like, I I figure this is like them trying to like subtly hint or something that he's gonna be involved with the space people and he's like undercover for them or
evil
something.
mastermind. He does mention he was a military
Yeah,
officer.
yeah. So yeah, it's like that's the only reason that it could be like that, right? He like he has a secret tech room to stay in contact with people or whatever. It's got to be that.
Maybe. We also have
Yeah.
the whole lines about how he's out of time. So I'm curious if
Hmm.
like he never had the surgery too, because it's like made
Yeah.
clear he's from outside as well.
Oh yeah. It's probably if he does something for them. If he gets some all of these dudes who think they're the Beast King and get them back in cryo, then they'll like do the surgery on him so that he won't die or something. I bet.
Or
Yeah.
on the woman he says he loves
Hmm.
that we never saw. She could be held
Oh,
hostage.
that's right. I had forgotten about that part. That's probably more likely with just what the show has done with relationships and women. They'll probably do that with them.
It's like
Yeah.
we have strong female characters, except they've now all become seconds to men.
Yeah.
Are all motivated only for their love of men,
Mm.
and that's
Ugh.
it. That they've got
Yeah.
nothing else.
Yeah. Oh God.
I
The the one thing in this episode that I thought was that I was like even a little bit positive on was that I had the thought like, I'm glad that they didn't go with the initial setup of like becoming top and then killing the other tops to become the Beast King and going to space or whatever, and they've kind of gotten away from that into this weird conspiracy thing and it's not what you think and all this like okay that's better.
I
I
I
don't think they're executing on it well, but it's better than just doing the original thing. I think.
see. I still would have liked the original thing more because it's
Yeah.
easier to pull off, right? I
Yeah.
I want. I really wanted the political kind of maneuverings of the four groups
Mhm.
interacting and fucking with each other, and they could have done it with this setting too, if they
Mhm.
didn't kill the others off right away.
Yeah.
Like if they had
True.
all four kind of figure this out and they're all like competing and Zagi's like twisting them to see like who will become like his leader or whatever, who will like be the one to push it.
Yeah.
There could have been something there, but maybe it's a fact they only have 11 episodes. They didn't try anything like
Yeah.
that. Um,
Probably.
God, I had something else I
Yeah.
noted, and I'm trying to remember it.
Mm.
Dang. Oh yeah, I had a horrible thought. I'm like, I sure hope they don't do this because yikes if they do. I was like,
Mhm.
what if Karen was actually Thor's brother saved by Zagi and somehow transition somehow?
Oof, that would. I would not trust them with that
It
plot
would
line
be
at all.
so bad, but for half a second I thought that's what they're going for. Or like not transition, but like because they
Mhm.
were looking up to Zagi so much, they tried to or something. Because they're like,
Mhm.
I wish I could be like you. It's like maybe because you once were. Like,
Oh
why do you
wow.
know Thor so much and
Yeah.
so interested in them and so devoted to Zagi? Zagi saved, what's their name at the end?
Mm.
It
Yeah.
would
That
never
would.
happen, but if it did, it would be the
Yeah.
worst thing ever. They
Oh,
would
that'd be.
butcher it so hard, I would cry.
That'd be terrible. Oh jeez.
Oh boy.
Mm. So yeah, this show has taken a real nosedive. Like it was mediocre before, but now it's just bad. Maybe they can save it. Maybe because after the first episode, it did get better. But
There's
so
only three
maybe,
episodes left. I doubt it.
yeah. Eh, I don't know.
Maybe,
Episode
maybe it can end with a 6. Maybe.
maybe, maybe you can bring it back that much at least. Hopefully. So yeah, how about Nobunaga then?
Nobunagan.
Mm,
So I want to say right away, it's very
yeah.
clear what they're doing with the first scene here, the dream. They're
Oh yeah.
trying to push the idea that no, it wasn't gay. We weren't trying to make it gay. Like Asao
Mm,
and Ogura aren't gay for each other. But the way
yeah.
they did it makes it almost feel like Ogura having a nightmare because they're worried that Asao wouldn't accept that they are
Mm-hmm.
gay and like Asao because it's like it was so bad and it played like the joke of ooh they're all gay
Yeah.
uh Asao's worried but like it's clearly supposed to push like the oh yeah no this show isn't gay
Mm-hmm.
because we made it too gay at the beginning and people are expecting it and we don't know how to build
Yeah.
proper relationship between these two people. We're gonna totally have fuck at the end and I fucking know they will. I'm salty as fuck
Oh.
about it already. I'm waiting for
Oh.
it. This scene just
Yeah.
further cemented my idea of it. But as I said, you can also take in the other clearly unintended way that Ogre
Mm-hmm.
is just worried as I wouldn't accept her
Yeah.
gay feelings for her.
Oh. Oh. God, the show would be so much better if they were just all gay.
Just
Very
let her be
good.
gay.
Yeah. Yeah. And oh, speaking of Jack, he was extra awful in this episode. Like
Yeah.
he's usually not good, but this episode especially, he was just terrible. He sucks.
Yeah, Jack fucking sucks. There's absolutely nothing redeeming he's ever done for Ogura.
Yeah.
There's no reason she should ever like him. He's just kind of an asshole to her. But they're gonna
Mm-hmm.
do it.
Yeah. Unfortunately. Mm.
Very unfortunately.
Yeah. So yeah, I don't have a whole lot on the episode, but I did like during the big fight scene with the squid thing when Ogura started having her internal monologue. It like the whole thing was like only black and blue. I thought that
mm,
looked very cool.
in the eyes.
Yeah.
And I loved how she like fixed it. It's like I can't shoot it, it'll blow all of us up. She just shoots a hole for it to fly through.
Yeah, that was very good.
Yeah. And the commander just staring, doesn't give a shit. It's like
Hmm. Yeah.
but
Yeah. Yeah. Go ahead.
the funniest thing about that is where it does explode. It's like I did it, and it's like for a moment she starts to de-transform and stuff, and then just like in half a second, like this split second, just this thing flies from off screen, hits in the head, and knocks her out. It's just like I laughed my ass off. It's so random.
Yeah.
Like it
Yeah.
wasn't even like framed good. It was just this random thing at the end of the scene. I'm like, wait, what? She just falls
Yeah.
into a sea. No one even goes and rescues her. It's like,
Yeah. That was
see
really
ya.
weird. Ugh. Yeah. That ending made me think. I wonder if she's going to be like rescued by aliens, and then there's someone going to communicate to her that the Dogu organization is the actual evil ones. That's why everyone is so mysterious. All the people in charge are mysterious about it. It's like, oh, they're actually evil and the aliens are good. They're just trying to survive or something.
The aliens are gonna save her because they're controlled by Asao, who's their hive mind,
Yeah.
and is gay.
Yes. Very good. Hmm.
Galileo deserved better. Vidoc's dick, though. It fits his
Yeah.
character. Vidoc's based off a guy who was a criminal, so like
Yeah.
him and Jack being assholes makes sense because they're based off assholes,
Hmm.
like murderous assholes.
Yeah. Like before this episode, I thought Vidok might be like, he might be actually evil and going to betray them. But now in this episode, it's like, no, he's just an asshole. He's not actively working against them or anything. He's just awful. He's just a bad person. That's all.
Galileo deserved better.
Yeah.
Poor Galileo.
Man, that scene was like kind of uncomfortable to watch. I was just like, oh, here's this pretty young girl just wailing in pain.
and
Like,
being manipulated by a guy going, "You'll do it
ugh,
for me, right?" Clearly with
yeah.
sinister intentions. It's like
Oh,
you have no one who can retrieve it. Like it's just gonna break and she's gonna die. Like you can't just assume it's not going to.
yeah.
If the others didn't show up, she was
Oh,
done for.
yeah.
Also, can we talk about tentacles that shoot explosive bugs? Like, what the
That's
fuck?
weird. Yeah.
That's evolution for you.
Yeah. That's really weird. This creature was strange. I don't know.
Giant octopus with bugs in its blood.
Yeah.
Naruto did it first. It's just Shino ripoff. That's the name of the bug guy, right? Shino?
Oh, I have no idea.
Oh, well.
I got out of Naruto very early on, so no idea.
He was in the tuning exam arc. That's the one everyone
Hmm.
got to the end of and then quit, right?
Oh, I don't know. I read the manga and then got unsubscribed from Shonen Jump and stopped reading it. So
It's been a long while.
yeah, it has literally been a long while. It's
Yeah.
been 15 years.
Whew.
Oh, jeez. Yeah. I don't know. I don't have much else about this episode. There's a point in this episode where I looked at my notes. I'm like, oh, I only have like 4 things written down, and then looked at the episode and was like, oh, I'm like 15 minutes in. What is happening? How is this show so slow?
I think it's because this episode was just mostly set up for next episode, which they haven't done before.
Yeah.
All the others were fast-paced, single, like,
Mhm.
kind of segments. This is the first one that's really setting up the next episode, which could lead to something very interesting, or might not. We'll have to see.
Yeah. We'll see.
I did have one thing to note that is really
Oh?
interesting about the show is this show has one of the most diverse casts in anime I've ever seen, right? Because all
yeah.
the E-gene holders are technically descendants of the gene people, right? We have Geronimo, who's First Nations, or uh, I'm trying
Native
to think
American?
of what the correct term,
Or-
because Canada and America have two
Mhm.
different terms for
Yeah.
it. I think Canadian
Heard.
term is First Nations. I'm not sure what the
Yeah. Native
American.
Americans or American Indians. I've heard both. I don't know if one is more correct than the other.
I think it's Native Americans,
Yeah.
but I could be wrong. But I know
Yeah.
it's not the same as Canada, which has
Yeah.
First Nations or the Iqaluit people of the North.
Mm.
Um,
Yeah. First Nation sounds really cool.
Yeah.
That sounds like something from a mystery novel or from a fantasy novel.
It's pretty.
Like the First Nations. It's
Yeah.
just cool sounding.
And then technically for legal talk, Aboriginals used along Canada too, because it was the legal term used in a lot of different language. And then also Métis, which were the descendants of the original French settlers before it then became British. So
Mhm.
French First Nation mix. Interesting stuff. But yeah, so that we got Indian character
Yeah.
Gandhi. We've got French character Vidocq. We've
Yeah.
got English characters in Jack,
Jack.
and I think Hunter or whoever the heck his name is also English.
Oh, yeah.
Actually, he might have been American actually.
John Hunter.
Uh,
John Hunter sounds like an American
Yeah, I think
name.
he's American. Though Americans were originally Britons, so.
Mm. Oh, he's Scottish, apparently.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
And then we have oh, what's his name? The kid who makes anything. He's
Oh, Gaudi.
yeah.
He's Spanish?
Yeah,
I
Catalan
forget what Gaudi's.
specifically.
Yeah.
The Catalan
Yeah.
area of Spain. There's the war photographer. I think he was.
I think
he
he's
American?
American.
Yeah.
I believe
He's like
so.
part American, part something else, I think.
Yeah.
We had Nobunaga, and of course, who's Japanese.
Mhm.
We have, what's her name, the other British,
Oh, yeah.
and Galileo, who's also British.
Is
And
Galileo British?
I
Italian.
think so. Oh, maybe
I
Italian.
have no idea.
And then we have Dai Zong, who is Chinese.
Yeah.
And
For all
then
30 seconds he was in the show.
we have Sis, who's an ATV.
Yeah.
That's it. She doesn't.
Yeah.
That's her descendants. Is a fucking ATV.
Yeah.
Which that still blows me away that they didn't just come up with something like not even the person who made the ATV. It's just the fucking she's just an ATV.
Yeah. God, that's one of my biggest criticisms about this show is that like all of the Eugene holders have like a thing. They do one thing and that is it. Like Gandhi has a force field and that is it, and Six has the ATV and that's it. Like they all just do a single thing, and it makes the
Well,
characters feel kind of boring. I think. I don't
Gaudi
know.
can do like a bunch of shit because he just builds
Oh
stuff,
yeah.
right? Like his is
Oh
OP,
yeah.
but
Yeah.
he's an idiot kid who gets mocked on.
Yeah. It's like, man, that character's weird because they're like trying to make him be kind of a, like, oh, you feel kind of bad for him because they're always making fun of him, but then also he's a creep, so you don't feel so bad for him.
Yeah, it's like, oh, it's photoshopped. It's like, first
Oh,
off, fuck off. Like,
yeah.
fucking creep.
Ugh, yeah.
I, Ogre deserved better. If we could
Yeah.
just take Ogre and Asao out of this
Mhm.
series, put them in their
Yeah.
own series, still in that cute outfit that I know you
Mhm.
hate.
Yeah.
May,
God.
maybe take Lemon too.
Yeah. Lemon's alright.
What I'm saying here is doujinshi people.
Yes.
We can make
Oh.
it happen. uh,
Yeah. Well, that's all I've got for
we're,
Nobunaga this week.
we're building up to next episode, which in the preview shows Asao again, but after the
Yeah.
bait and switch at the beginning of this episode, it's probably
Yeah.
gonna be like a Capo or Kappa or whatever the fuck his name is, just fucking with her.
Yeah. Be something dumb. Yeah. Be another dream from Ogre has while she's drowning or something.
Oh, that's possible
Act-
too.
Yeah.
No, she's gonna drown, and during it, she's gonna have flashback all the times. What's his name saved her, and then he's gonna save her again at the very last second, and she's gonna fall in love, and then we're gonna
Mhm.
puke.
Oh God. That episode's totally going to end with Jack saving her, isn't it? It's going to be terrible. I hate it already.
Why would you pair anyone with Jack the fucking Ripper? That's asking for them to
Oh,
die.
yeah, that's terrible. That's so bad.
If you're
It's
gonna
like,
if you're gonna use Jack the Ripper as a love interest,
mhm.
do it like Sanctuary, where
Yeah,
where his exes fucking hate him and want to murder him on sight. Like,
that'd be pretty good.
oh, Sanctuary is fantastic. It's a shame
Yeah.
it ended so soon.
Mm.
It's also a shame they killed off one of the coolest characters at the end of season one. But I think she
Oh,
wanted to do other stuff.
mm. And they just needed a character with a blade. They just needed someone with a blade.
That was-
You pick Jack the Ripper? Like, come on.
I fucking hate his outfit too. Why is it white and red? He's the guy who cuts people up. You don't wear white if you cut people up. You get blood on
Yeah.
you. Nobunaga guns make sense. You're gonna get gunpowder on you. Well, shit, it's all black. You're not staining shit.
Hmm.
God.
Oh, God, this show. It has been a ride.
Yeah, like the white and red when he first showed up, and it's all
Mhm.
the alternate colors seemed really cool. But then when it didn't change, when the rest of the colors changed, I was like, no, that's just the normal colors. Like, wait,
Yeah.
shit. That's
Yeah.
not good when it's not in like the weird stylistic magic land.
Yeah. Ugh. Yeah. Well, I guess that sounds like it's about it for this week, I think.
Oh, I did have one more thing. I
Oh?
think
Oh?
this might actually be like the biggest final plot thing, is whatever's in this cave, right?
Yeah.
Because the actual poster shows the tentacle
Oh,
down her
yeah.
leg.
That's right.
So,
So, yeah. We're getting ready for the end then. Just 5 more episodes now.
thankfully,
Oh, yeah.
not as bad as Drew say, so I don't mind the extra
Yeah.
episodes. But
Yeah.
we'll have to figure something out for the last two.
Hmm. Yeah, we'll figure something out. We got a couple weeks still.
We'll have
Yeah.
to start brainstorming stuff for next season. I still want to find a guest to give us like a recommendation.
Yeah, that could be good. So yeah, that's about it for Shenanimegans this week. You can follow us on well, sorry. brain's not working right tonight, you can subscribe to us on YouTube at shenanimegans.moe, where you find all our episodes that we've ever done. And or you can watch us live on Twitch on Monday night, or Tuesday night. You know, it changes a bit, but yeah, twitch.tv/Sasam, SASAM. Then you can follow us each on Twitter at @lastly and @SasamBots, or you can join us in Discord at shenanimegans.moe/Discord. So yeah, it's been Shenanigans episode 8. We'll see you again next week, I think.
I was just gonna say, you can watch us
Yeah?
on Twitch as long as I don't drop another 12,000 frames next
Oh,
week.
that's a lot of frames.
Oh, yeah, 8.9%.
Oh, that is a lot.
Yeah, it was all
Jeez.
near the beginning. We've been fine near the end here, but...
That's good.
Yeah,
Oh,
those of you who are tuning in and missed the beginning or missed all the lagging portions, check out the VOD on YouTube. It'll hopefully be up by the end of the week.
yeah, hopefully.
Keyword.
No promises, but we'll work on it.
Yeah, have a good night all.
Good night.